shall make no law respecting establishment of religion. Oh, unless of course you're a Rastafarian. Then, screw you. You don't get to worship the way you want to. Or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech. Unless you want to put a marijuana legalization ad on a city bus, and then, no, we can't have that freedom of speech. Or the right of the people to peaceably assemble or petition their government for redress of grievances. So right there, First Amendment, religious right to cannabis. No, you don't get that. Second Amendment, well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I know that's a big thing here in Texas, right? But do you realize that even if you have a legally registered firearm and are exercising your Second Amendment rights, if they catch you with drugs, like pot, all of your sentences are doubled. So in a sense, the war on drugs disincentivizes people from using their Second Amendment rights. The Third Amendment says no soldier shall be quartered in a house in a time of war without the owner's permission. Okay, you got me on that one. So far, we haven't violated the Third Amendment on the war on drugs. The Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. How many people's rights have been violated in search and seizures by cops over the war on drugs? Yeah, too many. In fact, I want to tell you a little story about this Fourth Amendment thing. This is something that's going on in the Supreme Court right now in front of the United States Supreme Court. There's a case called Kentucky v. King. And the way that it goes is like this. Cops had a warrant to go to an apartment complex and serve it on that apartment. Go up the hall, that apartment, that's your drug warrant. The cops go up to the hall, they hear voices and smell pot from that door. Not that door that's on the warrant, but the door across the hall. They knock, they hear a bunch of scuttling and running around, they figure they're trying to destroy evidence, they break down the door and they catch these guys smoking pot, these guys go to jail. And what is up for the Supreme Court to decide right now, and they are literally talking about this, is whether or not the smell of pot alone is enough for a cop to break down your door. And of course, if this goes the way the cops want it to go, and Lord knows Scalia and Alito and all these guys are wanting to give it to them, if it goes their way, what's to stop the cops from just saying, oh, I know, hey, there's an apartment building, let's walk up and down the halls until we smell something. Is that the America your forefathers fought for? We are on the 400th year of cannabis on this continent. 1611, the first American settlement in Jamestown. Those colonists grew hemp, and hemp was grown all the way through this country through 1940s. All right, let's get back to our civil rights here. The Fifth Amendment. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless a presentation of a grand jury, no double jeopardy, those kind of things. Of course, we find all sorts of cases where people are busted for drugs and they get innocent on the drug charge, but they get their stuff taken away for civil asset forfeiture. Y'all heard of that? Civil asset forfeiture? What that is a part in American law that says your property committed a crime. Your house, by existing, because you're a druggie and made all your money from drugs, your house is committing a crime, and we're the government, we're going to take it from you. You don't even have to be charged with a crime in order for your stuff to be taken from you over this war on drugs. And your house, your car, your bank accounts are guilty until proven innocent. You have to go to court and prove that the $12,000 in your bank account was really yours and you didn't make it from selling weed. And of course, how do you hire a lawyer when the $12,000 in your bank account has been seized by the government? So much for your Fifth Amendment right. Your Sixth Amendment right, speedy trials, impartial juries. Right. Has anybody here heard of a concept called testifying? Testifying. This is when cops will get on the stand and bold-faced lie about what's going on in a criminal case. Our Sixth Amendment rights violated every day in this war on marijuana. Seventh Amendment, suits shall be tried by juries. We'll have jury trials, but how many people get busted on pot charges and get told by their public pretender not to go for a jury trial? Our Seventh Amendment rights. Our Eighth Amendment rights, no cruel and unusual punishment. What could be more cruel than putting a human being in a cage over a house plant? Your Ninth Amendment right, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be constricted to deny disparage others retained by the people. The Ninth Amendment basically says if the Constitution doesn't say something about it, it's your right. Now, I scanned this document and I looked for the word cannabis. I looked for the word hemp, but I looked for the word marijuana, and it's not in here. That tells me, under the Ninth Amendment, we have the right to grow any damn crop God gave to us. Yeah! The 10th Amendment. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited to it by the states, are reserved for the states or the people. This is known as the States' Rights Amendment. You think we got states' rights to do what we want about marijuana? So, in every one but the Third Amendment, our rights are violated because of this stupid war on a plant. There are 250,000 Americans busted every year on marijuana charges. The DEA is a bureaucracy of 10,000 employees with a $2.6 billion budget. This has got to stop.
Does it have a good zoom ratio? Yeah. It's decent.
Who wants to legalize?
I was just standing here, he's almost there.
Who wants to legalize industrial hemp? When you think about it, the industrial hemp thing is the dumbest part of the war on drugs. The DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, is in charge of banning a plant that is not a drug. Drug enforcement, not a drug. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? Of course, we do have a Department of Defense that's in charge of committing offenses, so things are weird in the government, but we live with it sometimes. Industrial hemp, there's no reason it should be illegal. Banning industrial hemp because it looks like pot is like banning powdered sugar because it looks like cocaine. That makes no sense. In the United States today, what are some of the biggest ecological problems we think of? We think of global warming. We think of the gas prices going to $4 a gallon. We think of people that are starving in America and in other countries, people that are going without food. Hemp can solve all those problems. Woo! Industrial hemp planted on just 6% of arable U.S. farmland would create enough diesel fuel to run every vehicle in America. If they were all diesel, but they're not. It would.
Nice.
How many farms out here in Texas have gone under?
I bet too.
Yeah.
I bet too, yeah.
How many farmers are struggling to have a crop that they can make any money on? Every damn day, I know.
680.
Farmers in Texas, they're all struggling. And we
That's
have
a lot of room, doesn't it?
It's a computer.
Industrial hemp.
It does everything. Does everything I want it to do. 32.
Farmers in Manitoba
32
are
gig
paying
with
$80 per hectare. On their
protective
hemp
shield,
crops.
and then this case, and then a
You
stylus.
might think hectare, I don't know what that is, $80, is that a lot?
It does everything.
The average crop in America or Canada
Skype, we can
reaps
text
about
message, I
$8
can call
a hectare.
people. I don't need a cell phone anymore.
Well, I have a
Times
little
more
bit
growing
more.
industrial hemp than they
This
can
is
grow
quite cool.
wheat,
Yeah,
I
corn,
had
anything
a
else.
phone,
They just
the
cop them from
HTV
Canada,
phone,
but-
for
HTV,
yeah, Sprint. Did
It
everything.
is time to allow our
It's frying my
farmers
brain.
to grow
I was hitting mini
industrial
scope.
hemp.
Oh,
No shit. Yeah, oh my God. They went around, they didn't, they sent the phone back and they didn't give me my money back. Fucking
They're
asshole.
dusty and crumbling. They're
Talk to
falling
someone about that
apart.
or what?
Yeah, but I was going to go and get a protest sign and go in front of the Spence store and look sexy little outfit on a Saturday. And,
Get everyone's attention.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Get the
about
news
cotton.
out there.
A lot of you guys
Yeah.
might be wearing blue jeans out there, or something made out of cotton, right?
I'm from Colorado, so I got my
Cotton
license too.
takes
Oh,
50% of the world's pesticides
Jealous.
and irrigation. Take all the other crops, corn,
I keep on going
soybeans,
back.
alfalfa, everything else,
Been
hay,
here
everything
for
else.
3 weeks.
Cotton
But
takes
since,
half the
November.
water and
badass.
pesticides
I'm going back.
in this. And understand that these pesticides that we're talking about oftentimes are oil-based. They come from petroleum. The fertilizers that we are using on our crops come from petroleum. How many people got these water bottles? Those water bottles come from petroleum. Everything comes from petroleum, and everything you can make from petroleum, you can make from hemp seed oil. So it only makes sense that we should grow our way out of this environmental crisis. How many people here have relatives, family, or friends serving in the United States Armed Forces overseas? How many think any of them should be shot and killed over a $4 gallon of gas? How many of our soldiers do you think we need to station in the Middle East if instead we were growing crops of hemp to solve our fuel problems?